Welcome to Body Buddies, home of the Power Foods lifestyle. Take it one meal, one workout, one day at a time. And now, here's the founder of Body Buddies, Kristy Jo.
Welcome to the Body Buddies podcast. I'm Kristy Jo, your host, and you are in the right place if you are looking for strategic nutrition, fitness, and mindset. I want to invite you to head over to my website, body-buddies.com, to download the top 10 principles for a lifestyle change. Today I'm joined by Jenny Layton, who is a professional organizer and personal health coach. She has helped thousands of women organize their lives. And as a professional speaker, owner of The Happy Gal, and an author of the cookbook, Healthy Eating the Happy Gal Way, she is really on a journey to help empower women's lives. She has appeared on numerous lifestyle and radio shows and has been an organizing guru for even Franklin Covey. She's been a good friend of mine for about a year now, ever since we spoke together at a conference. And today we want to share a message about loving our bodies. And it's a really special thing that she has embarked on. She's put together this beautiful campaign as well as a giveaway. We'll talk about that at the end of the episode. But you're in the right place and you're going to enjoy this episode if you're really looking for that internal strength to stop the comparison and to start accepting yourself. We're going to cover what contributes to our feelings of comparison, being less than, unaccepting, and how we can be proactive in protecting ourselves from that. We'll explore some of the things in our bodies that we overlook, and we'll talk about swimsuit season being so difficult and some of the things that we can do as well as tools that will help us to combat that. Jenny's going to give you so many great ideas as well as mindset tips to just really enjoy the season and to enjoy your body, love your body, as we are learning here at Body Buddies to power your body. With that, let's go right into our discussion. Welcome to the Body Buddies podcast, Jenny. I would love to start out by asking you, what does it mean to power your body?
Oh, Kristy, I love that question, especially with our topic that we're talking about today. To me, powering your body means getting your body healthy and ready for the life you want to live. I think sometimes we get a little caught up in, wanting to have great health or a great body, you're really fit or whatever, but it's all about what does that body let you do. And I love that phrase, power your body, because it's like power your body for what? What's the motivation behind it? And so I think we're going to get into that today. I just love that question.
Oh, we sure are. And we've known each other for about over a year now, and it's been such a blessing to know you and to learn from you. You've got such a wealth of experience, and I hope all of our listeners today really open their hearts and minds to hear this message, because Jenny's got some really beautiful things to say, and I'm just happy to be able to have this conversation. So, Jenny, tell us about what originally got you thinking about how to help women empower themselves and look at their bodies a little bit differently.
Well, I'm a professional organizer, and so that has branched into helping women organize their lives. And so as I coach and work with a lot of women, the body and how we feel about ourselves and how we see ourselves is a central part of having an organized life, feeling in control of your life and feeling happy. And so as I've worked with women and had a lot of conversations, I've just seen the need, and I recently wrote an article I was about ready to publish about how to feel comfortable in your swimsuit. And I just thought the world needs to hear this, because we all know swimsuit season's around the corner. We all have those same kind of insecurities that start creeping up, and there are tools that you can use to manage that experience so that it's one that you love instead of one that you dread. So that was kind of the emphasis and the drive behind this little movement.
Well, what do you think, happens in the hearts and the minds of a lot of women when this time of year comes around? What are some of those emotions we're feeling?
Well, I don't know about you. Even I myself have to kind of manage that. You start to feel some dread, you start to feel some insecurity. And so, when I work with women, one of the metaphors that I use is you can't fall in a lake and not get wet. And I think when we are born into this culture, it's like we're born into this lake of messages about what beauty is and what ideal is and what we need to look like to be good enough and worth enough. There's some startling statistics out there. You know, they say that 7-year-olds, one study found 25% of 7-year-olds already feel insecure about their bodies, and some have even tried dieting, which is just sad. And other statistics, you know, have speculated that young girls now see more images of beauty and unrealistic, unattainable kind of beauty than our mothers saw in their entire adolescence. So we're talking about being submerged in a lake of body image issues that's really intense and really pervasive. And so you kind of can't get away from having some of those insecurities.
It's true. And you just think about on a daily basis how much we adults and the teenagers and, like you said, the kids are being exposed. You know, we both live in northern Utah, and just looking at billboards on the freeway to how many people are on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and Pinterest, and it's completely surrounding us. So we're living in this world where we have to kind of look at ourselves. We're not going to change the exterior. We're not going to change what's happening out there. But we can start looking inside and saying, well, how am I going to function and not just feel like I need to hide or feel less than? And that's what we really want to help empower each of our listeners today with. So I'm curious, though, what contributes to this epidemic where we're not protecting ourselves emotionally? I mean, are we feeding it with some of our choices or thought patterns or habits?
Well, absolutely. And, you know, you teach a lot about mindset and awareness, and that's a big part of my practice as well with my clients, my business, and what I practice. And that is just that awareness of when that starts to happen. I think we find ourselves in that comparison situation almost before we even know it. And so let's slow that process down. Let's start to notice what's triggering us and putting us in that situation, and be a little more mindful about what different choices do we have the power to make to create a different experience when we start to feel those situations, like at the pool or at the gym or those other places that we might start to feel triggered.
You know, I'd like to share a little personal experience really quickly on that, and maybe it'll help give some insight to our listeners. I got back in the studio, the dance studio, teaching this January, and I hadn't taught ballet in a few years, and I have a different body now, a little more muscular than I used to. And it was very interesting to me to be aware of what happened emotionally those first few weeks. You know, I'm teaching girls ages 5 to 18, and their bodies are not developed to the level of mine, both in height as well as just mass. And those first few weeks, I had to really look inside and say, why are you allowing yourself to be upset? And I found out I was comparing my body to theirs. I was allowing myself to feel less than because I had an adult body.
Yeah.
And once I realized what was happening, because it got the best of me for a little bit, and I was feeling down, and then it's that awareness point that I said, whoa, that's what's going on here? Let's get back to the logic. Your body is grown. You're fully developed. You are a happy 5'9", 150-pound girl with muscle. Like, you are not 9 years old and 70 pounds.
Yeah.
And being able to look at the logic of it was really powerful. And ever since I figured that out, I've been fine. But it was an awareness trigger.
Absolutely. And I think there's some really good tools that we can empower listeners with today when they're in that situation, which I'd love to talk about. But first, I just want to highlight how important it is for everyone to hear that even someone who's a mouthpiece for good health and healthy body image, like you are or like I am, doesn't mean that we don't still struggle with some of those same things. And I think that's empowering for listeners to hear, because it's not like you ever arrive and fix it. It's you continue practicing these tools. And I'll tell you, I struggle just like everyone else. It's just I've really invested a lot of time in knowing how to redirect so that I get a different result. So
I love that, redirect.
Yeah. So, you know, I've had a neck injury for like the last 8 months, and it's been really challenging because I can't exercise the way I want to. And so that's been really tough for me because it's kind of changed my body composition a little bit. I hate that, but, you know, it is what it is. One thing I've noticed, though, is I can't exercise the way I used to, so I'm not at the gym as much anymore. And taking that absence from the gym has made me notice that the gym can be a trigger for me, because I can be there and start comparing myself who do I look better than? Who looks better than me? What do I wish I looked like? And it's been great to have that absence. And so sometimes I think we can recognize, start to pay attention to what your triggers are, what situations trigger you, and can you redesign your life? And I really love that term, design your life or redesign your life, so that you're not triggered so often, because just taking myself out of that environment has really eased a lot of the pressure that I put on myself. Now, is that everyone's experience in the gym? I certainly hope not. And do I want to return? Yes, really bad, because I want to exercise again. But I appreciate having the absence of that trigger, and hopefully I can redirect it like you talked about in the ballet studio.
Well, and I love that, being able to create and design and really step away from your life and look at it saying, whoa, where are we going? What am I intentionally, kind of putting myself in those situations? And is there a possibility of just making a small change there? I love that.
Yeah. Well, we had a conversation a little earlier where we were talking about gratitude for our body. And I think that's one of those tools of redirection, that rather than when we're in that situation, there are some situations we can't avoid. Sometimes, the pool with the kids this summer, or family vacations, or, getting together with old friends, and that can really trigger some insecurities, and you're comparing yourself, all right, do you look as good as somebody else? So those kinds of things we really can't avoid or redesign, but what we can do is redesign our reaction to those. And so we talked about gratitude earlier. I think that's a huge key to being able to have a different response and experience with our bodies, and that is redirecting the way we're looking at our bodies and saying, I am so grateful that this body has allowed me to be here in this moment, that I have the health that I need to experience this. Or tell listeners what you said about how your gratitude for your big toe. I love that.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, well, you know what? It's so interesting, the little things we overlook. So as I'm in the dance studio so much, I realize how important each of my toes are, and whether it's my big toe, my baby toe, which actually my listeners know I call them daddy and baby. So that's a key facilitator in my balance. Without that small little appendage, I would be wobbling all over the place. And how beautiful is it, no matter the length or the shape, or whether I have a perfect toenail or it's painted or chipped, whatever, that little toe helps me balance. That is so beautiful. And how many parts of our bodies do we overlook? And do we just focus on the things that we're not perhaps pleased with, instead of realizing we have this incredible, powerful vehicle that's allowing us to live our lives?
Absolutely. And, I think we hear that and it's like, yeah, that's true, but I still don't like how I look in a swimsuit. We still come to that place. And I think you just have to ask yourself, well, what do you want to experience?
Hi, I'm Kristy Jo, founder of Body Buddies, a body transformation company. I want to help you transform your life into a healthier and happier you. I've already helped thousands of people change their lives. Go to powerfoodslifestyle.com to get your free copy of The Power Foods Lifestyle. This book will help you change your relationship with food, teach you strategic eating for fat loss and more energy, and help you eliminate the all-or-nothing diet approach. What do you have to lose besides the weight? Get your free copy of The Power Foods Lifestyle at powerfoodslifestyle.com.
Is feeling insecure about your body bringing you the results that you want? Or do you really want to go and have a good time? Because the choice is yours. And if you really want to go and have a good time, find that gratitude, just like you were just talking about, Kristy. Find that piece of you that you do feel good about. Or let's take our body out of the equation. Let's be grateful that it's let us experience things, but let's take the body out of the equation and just be grateful to be alive, just be grateful for the moment. I think about being at the pool and, that sunshine on your skin feels amazing, and how cool the water feels, or the sounds of the kids splashing and playing. I mean, that's the stuff memories are made out of. That is living. That is life. Absolutely. And that's where real joy comes from. Strutting your stuff across the pool, feeling great in a bikini or whatever, that might, bring a little bit of temporary satisfaction, but that's not the same depth of joy that you're going to feel when you feel grateful for being present and really being there. So again, the choice is yours. What do you want to experience, and design that, create that.
It really is our choice. And I think a lot about the psychology of self-judgment. We often perceive that others are looking at us and thinking all these things when in reality, if we truly knew how much everyone is focused on themselves, and that we realize our own self-judgment is what's holding us back, other people really probably aren't thinking those things. And so when we challenge those thoughts and say, you know, am I really worried about what they think? Or how about I just start and accept myself and go have that fun? Drop the judgment and stop projecting it onto other people. Give them give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not horrible people thinking awful things about you.
Yes.
I think that holds us back a lot.
I do too, and I think that whole cycle starts when we start that judgment game. So that's one thing that I write about in this article I referenced earlier, is just that idea that when we start judging other people for better or worse, it just sucks us into this game, you know, this judgment and self-criticism and self-consciousness game. And so it really does lock us into this place where we're not present with what's going on. And, you know, nobody wins. In that game, nobody wins. There's not a winner. Whether you look better or worse, or whether you're proud of the way you look, or that's not winning. It's just a small amount maybe of satisfaction, even if you do feel good about yourself, that really is not lasting. You need to, it's kind of like you need that continued reinforcement of feeling like you look better to be able to continue to get satisfaction from that game that you're playing. And again, that just can't even measure up to the joy that you feel of really connecting with people and being present and having a good time.
Totally. Well, and it goes to show, you know, sometimes we play that game with significant others of, you know, do I look okay? And does this make me look okay? Does this make me look big or small or whatever? And it's like, do we really? Even if they praise us and validate us and everything we could ever hope for, I think many women listening to this will agree it's never good enough. And it won't ever be good enough until it comes from ourselves. Yeah. And that's where it begins. So again, looking to other people for that validation, it's not going to happen. We've got to start from that inside. Jenny, what are some of the other tools that maybe you've written about in the article or come to mind for, you know, that ability to intentionally get ourselves in that right headspace?
Well, one of the things I was thinking about just a second ago, in our previous conversation, you talked about how some body buddies have talked about when they get to the pool, they don't even want to take the towel off and they just want to dart right into the water. So they just don't want to be there. And that brought to mind one of the principles in that article, which is act as if. And this really kind of correlates to what we talked about at the beginning of the conversation, and that is, why do we want to have a healthy body or a fit body? I think sometimes if the whole point is just to be fit, to look good, and there's nothing we really want to do because of that, that's just kind of the goal, we need to re-examine our motivation, because that's not a lasting satisfaction. Look at what it is you really want to be able to do and act as if you were already there. And so that principle, act as if, is one that I talk a lot about in that article. And that's just, you know, what do you want to be able to get in the pool and play with your kids? Do you want to be able, and let's not talk about the pool. I mean, there's a lot of other applications. Do you want to get out and be active with your family? I worked with one girl who had some goals. There was an opportunity, but her body composition had to be at a certain level in order to make the cuts and be able to do this opportunity. Well, look at what it is you want to be doing and start acting that way now, rather than waiting for your body to be the way you want it to be. Because let's face it, our bodies never arrive at that place. You know, we can really work and work and work, and it's still, we're not satisfied with where our body is, just because that's kind of the cultural paradigm that we're in. So let's act as if we already are there, and watch and see how the things that we want in life start to fall in place, and we start to get more opportunities and more things that we want, because we're already acting as though we can do it in the body that we're in right now.
Oh, that's a great tool. Act as if. That's almost like something that'd be good for us to write on a Post-it note or a 3x5 card and put in different places. I'm also a big fan of dry erase markers on the bathroom mirror, because we can hear this amazing message, but if we don't remind ourselves of it and program it in, you know, we're going to say, great, I love that podcast with Jenny and Kristy Jo, and then we forget about it. So listeners, we're saying you're writing these tools down, right?
Yes. Act as if. That's a great one to go on the mirror. And ask yourself, what would I be doing today? I mean, we all kind of have that, if I could just lose 10 pounds, if I could just be a little more toned, or whatever it is. What would you be doing if you were that? And do it today. What's one thing today you can do? And go do that. There's this coaching paradigm that I'm sure we've all heard before of the have, do, be versus the be, do, have. Have you talked about that with your listeners, Kristy?
No, this is actually the first I've heard of it. So,
oh, really? Well, let's talk about it. Well, so just the idea that I need to have the things I want to have so I can do the things I want to do, and then I'll be the person I want to be. And that's wrong way to approach that. You need to reverse engineer that. Be the person you want to be. Start doing the things that you want to do, and then you're going to find that you're going to have the things that you want to have. So it all starts with being that person. That. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's another thing you can write. Mirror. Yeah, I was going to say that's another bathroom mirror quote. Be, do, have.
Yes.
That's the right order.
Oh, I love that. Huh.
Yeah.
Something else you said that kind of caused a warm swelling in my heart because it's something my mom has just reinforced to me over the years. And she's just been a great sounding board as I've gone on my own journey and evolved and figured things out, and people have watched my own journey. And that's examine your intentions. Why do you do what you do? And when we realize that nobody can tell us the answer except ourselves, and we are brave and we challenge why we're thinking what we're thinking and get really clear, it's amazing how much of the fears or doubts or other comparisons or anything at all, it just kind of crumbles away. And we're left with our authentic self, and that's where a lot of just like release and feelings of calm come from. Yeah. So I love that you brought that up because it's been really powerful in my own life.
Well, I think that concept has applications in a lot of different areas in our lives, and I love that we're applying that specifically to body today because it reinforces that idea that our body is not an ornament, right? It's an instrument. And so look at your body as let's care for it, let's create health so that we can do what we want to do, and it's not just to hang there and be pretty. It's not just to be admired.
That's a quotable quote. It's not an ornament. It's an instrument. I love it.
Mirror.
Your
bathroom mirror is going to be full.
On bathroom mirror. Yeah, we love it. Well, tell us a little bit about what's going on right now. This is very timely, and I hope everyone's listening to this, in the month of May. Tell us what's going on, Jenny.
Well, so Kristy, you and I and a few other awesome ladies are teaming up to promote the Love Your Body 2017 campaign. So we have, I know, it's so exciting. This is born from that I don't know, that feeling I had when I was looking at that article. Just women need to hear it. They need to have some tools so that this summer they can get out and do what they want to do, and the way their body looks doesn't even need to be on their radar. Let's just let's make the memories we want to have. Let's do what we want to do. And, take good care of our bodies, but don't let any inhibitions that we have stop us. And so this month we have several different avenues that are going to be promoting this message. This podcast, I've got my article. We've got something on Fox 13 on Tuesday, the 23rd of May, that's going to be awesome to watch on their The Place lifestyle show. Just a lot of different resources to help encourage us to live our lives this way this summer, do what we want to do. And then what does that really look like? It's great in this conversation to talk about it, but how do we really do that? And so this article I've written has 5 really powerful ways that we can bring ourselves back to the present and focus on what we want to do and not have it all be about the way that we look.
I love it. And we just hope this message can reach so many women. We encourage you to share this episode with all the women in your life and everybody who needs to hear this positive message, uplifting and looking inside to say, look, we're awesome. We can be our best. We don't need to feel any of these negative feelings. We know that they're not from good sources. And we want everything that's full of light and hope and goodness. So I applaud you, Jenny, for taking that step when you felt inspired to do more. I love that on so many levels. And so thank you for bringing this message to all of us. I'm excited about the segment and the giveaway. Let's talk about maybe some things that people can do to enter that, and we will have all the specifics in the show notes when this goes live. So tell us a little bit more about that, Jenny.
Right. Okay. So as part of this campaign, we have a few really fun brands that are donating to a giveaway. So Lime Ricky, which is a great swimsuit company, really all about positive body image, they're donating a swimsuit to a winner. So we've got that wonderful prize, as well as Half Tea, which is another company that really promotes positive body image. These great shirts that you know how your T-shirts will kind of bunch up under, you know, your jeans or whatever.
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys have these, they stop halfway, kind of like a crop top, so you don't have all of those ripples underneath your jeans or shirts or whatever.
Mine.
Yeah,
they're a
lifesaver.
They're
great. So they're also donating to this giveaway. So it's going to be great. And then, just look at the details. We'll do Facebook and Instagram to promote the giveaway, and you can enter, and it's going to be great. So I hope one of the listeners today wins.
Yes. And do we have a cutoff deadline for entering the giveaway, just in case those people who are listening to this after the event? So all of that information will be in the notes to this podcast. Perfect. So just be sure to check that so that they know for sure. Yeah. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this has been, amazing.
Well,
I'm going to go listen to it 4 more times.
I know. Well, and I just think, anytime you hear something like this, it's empowering, it's motivating, and then you get to your real life and you're like, okay, now what am I supposed to do? Do you ever feel that way when you hear stuff?
100%.
Warm, good feeling, and I really love anytime I speak, anytime I work with someone, to have a really strong, firm takeaway. What is it I'm going to do? And so I want to challenge anyone listening today, if this has resonated with you or made you feel like, yeah, I really need to do this, what is one thing you would do today, act as if, right? What's one thing you would do today if you already were as fit as you wanted to be, if you were thin or built or whatever it is as you want to be, what would you do today? And go do it. Start living your life that way, and you're going to watch and see how, it becomes more about who you are and less about what you need to turn into, and you'll recognize that, you've got the capacity to create the life you want right now. So start doing that right now. Don't wait for everything to line up before you can do that.
Amen. Amen, amen, and amen. Well, you guys, if you have loved hearing Jenny talk, we are going to ask her to share with us how you can get in contact with her. She has an amazing recipe book. She does, like she said, organization and other healthy lifestyle coaching. Anything else you want to say, Jenny, and give us those links or where we can find her?
Sure, yeah. So go to thehappygal.com, and you'll see some of the things I have there to offer. What I would like everyone to do is go look at thehappygal.com for my top 10 tips for an organized life. So that is a free gift, and these tips are things that I have learned as I've worked with women for well over a decade, watching those and coaching those to have a really effective, organized life they feel really good about. What are 10 things that you can do to immediately begin to feel like your life is organized? They're not complicated. They don't cost money. They don't take a lot of effort. They're small things that make a huge, huge difference. So really want to invite viewers to take a look at that and get their free gift. Would love to share that with you. And I have some great products. I have a cookbook written from an organizer perspective, so makes eating healthy easy. And I know Kristy teaches a lot of that too. I think they're very complementary. And I have a great new product, Get Organized. Organize your stuff, organize your paper, organize yourself, and organize your health. And so check that out. That's all on the homepage of The Happy Gal. So a lot of great resources there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for helping us have a great message today and some wonderful takeaways. So listeners, now is the time. Go out there, power your body, take it one meal, one workout, and one day at a time. Thanks so much, Jenny.
Thank you, Kristy.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on iTunes. You can learn more about Body Buddies and Power Foods Lifestyle by going to www.body-buddies.com, BODY-BUDDIES.com, and powerfoodslifestyle.com. That's www.POWERFOODSlifestyle.com.
Information in this episode is provided for informational purposes and is not meant to substitute the advice provided by your own physician or other medical professional. Information and statements regarding dietary supplements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.